I was half asleep when I heard my dog growl. Not barking, not whining, growling. Low, steady, controlled. I opened my eyes and stared into the darkness of my bedroom. My dog, Bear, was standing at the edge of the bed, staring at the open doorway. His body was stiff, tail completely still. Bear didn't growl, ever. I whispered his name. He didn't react. Then I heard it. A soft sound, like fabric brushing against a wall. My heart started racing. I reached for my phone, trying not to move too much. That's when a shadow passed slowly across the hallway light coming from the kitchen. Someone was inside my house. Bear let out one sharp bark, deep and explosive. The shadow froze. Then I heard footsteps retreating fast. A door slammed. Silence. Police later found my back door unlocked. No signs of forced entry. They told me the intruder had probably been inside for several minutes before Bear noticed. I don't sleep with my bedroom door open anymore. Bear still does. I woke up because my cat landed on my face. Not gently, hard. I sat up, confused and irritated, ready to shove her off, until I saw the shape at the foot of my bed. A person, just standing there. I froze so completely I couldn't even breathe. My cat, normally skittish, hissed and launched herself forward, landing on the person's chest. There was shouting, movement, panic. The figure stumbled backward, tripping over a chair. That was enough to break whatever spell I was under. I screamed. The figure ran. I heard the front door slam so hard the walls shook. Police later told me the intruder had been watching me sleep. They knew because of the footprints on the carpet, right up to my bed. If my cat hadn't jumped when she did, I don't know how long I would have stayed frozen. She sleeps on my pillow now. I let her. My fish tank sits in the living room. I know that sounds ridiculous, but listen. I was asleep on the couch when the tank light suddenly turned on. I hadn't touched the switch. The room filled with a faint blue glow. Then I heard the glass lid rattle. My fish were panicking, slamming against the sides. Something had startled them badly. I sat up. That's when I noticed the front door wasn't closed anymore. It was open, just a few inches. I stayed completely still, barely breathing, watching the reflection in the dark TV screen. A shadow moved behind me. I bolted for the bathroom and locked the door, calling the police. Whoever it was ran before officers arrived. Later, they told me the person had been standing behind the couch when the fish started thrashing, probably reacting to the vibration of footsteps. If that tank hadn't made noise, I would never have turned around. I keep a ball python. She's calm, predictable, always stays in her enclosure. That night, I woke up to the sound of glass scraping. Her tank lid was pushed open. She was halfway out. That alone was strange, but then I noticed something else. The bedroom door, which I always lock, was open. My snake lifted her head and froze, tongue flicking rapidly toward the hallway. I heard breathing, not mine, heavy, slow, close. I screamed. I've never been a light sleeper. Once I'm out, I'm out. That night felt no different. I remember falling asleep on the couch after work, the TV still on, the volume low. I didn't bother turning anything off. I figured I'd wake up later and go to bed. I don't know how much time passed before the barking started. At first, it blended into my dream, distant, muffled. Then it got louder, sharp, repetitive, wrong. My dog, Rex, never barked like that. He wasn't aggressive or anxious. If he heard a noise, he might growl once or twice, then settle down. This wasn't that. I opened my eyes and realized the room felt heavy, like the air itself had weight. When I sat up, my head felt strange, foggy, almost drunk. Then I smelled it. Smoke. Not thick, not choking, just enough to make me question if I was imagining it. I remember thinking, maybe the neighbors are grilling. That thought scares me now. When I stood, my legs wobbled. I grabbed the wall and made my way toward the stairs. Rex was at the bottom, barking straight up at me, pacing back and forth like he didn't know what else to do. As I stepped down, the smoke alarm finally went off. The kitchen was already filled with gray smoke. A dish towel I'd left too close to the stove had caught fire hours earlier. It wasn't a big flame, just slow, smoldering heat, the kind that doesn't wake you up. The firefighters later told me something I still think about. They said the fire itself wouldn't have killed me. The carbon monoxide would have. My cat Luna was distant. She wasn't affectionate, didn't cuddle, didn't follow me around the house. She existed in her own quiet orbit. That's why what happened still doesn't make sense. I woke up feeling pressure on my chest. Not heavy, just uncomfortable. When I opened my eyes, Luna was standing on me, staring directly into my face. Her pupils were huge. She wasn't blinking. I pushed her off without thinking. She jumped right back on me. I muttered her name and rolled onto my side. That's when she bit me. Not playful, not aggressive, deliberate. I sat up, fully awake now, my heart pounding. My mouth felt dry. My hands were shaking. When I tried to stand, my vision tunneled. The room tilted like I was suddenly underwater. I don't remember hitting the floor. I remember waking up later with paramedics around me. Luna sitting in the corner, watching. At the hospital, they told me my blood sugar had dropped dangerously low in my sleep. I'm diabetic, but I'd never had an episode like that before. They said if I'd stayed unconscious much longer, the damage could have been permanent, or worse. They asked me what woke me up. I didn't know how to explain it. Luna hasn't done anything like that since. But sometimes, late at night, I wake up and find her sitting beside my bed, just watching. I trusted my horse more than I trusted people. Willow and I had been riding together for years. Same trails, same routines. She was calm, predictable, steady. That's why I noticed immediately when she stopped. No warning, no stumble, just stopped. I squeezed with my legs, clicking softly like I always did. Nothing. Her ears flattened. Her breathing changed. I could feel tension ripple through her body. I leaned forward and tried to guide her again. She refused. That scared me. Willow didn't refuse, ever. I dismounted, frustrated, and took a few steps ahead of her to see what the problem was. That's when the ground shifted beneath my foot. Not collapsed, just enough to make a hollow sound. I froze. I took another cautious step, and the earth gave way. The ground dropped in on itself, leaves and dirt disappearing into a dark opening I hadn't seen at all. A sinkhole, old, unstable, hidden perfectly by the forest floor. If Willow had taken one more step, I would have been riding her straight into it. Later, professionals said the collapse could have happened at any moment. There were no visible signs, nothing I could have known. Except Willow did. She refused to go near that spot again. She pulled away like it frightened her. I listen now. Always. My parrot Max talks. That's not unusual. What was unusual was what he said that night. I woke up to his voice saying, "Hello?" Not playful, not sing-song. Flat. Curious. I sat up instantly. Max didn't know that word. Then I heard it again. "Hello?" This time, it didn't come from the cage. My blood went cold. There were footsteps in my hallway, slow, careful. Someone was inside my apartment. Before I could react, Max started screaming, loud, shrill, non-stop, the kind of sound that makes your skin crawl. The footsteps stopped, then ran. Police later told me the back window had been forced open. Whoever it was had already been inside for several minutes. I think about that sometimes, about how quiet I was sleeping, about how close someone was standing to my bedroom door. Max still talks, but when he says, "Hello, now?" I don't laugh anymore. I'd been breathing it for hours. Rex never stopped barking until we were outside. He sleeps by my bed now, and I don't complain.